is set out. They want to put a nice, new, beautiful ballpark, nice, new, beautiful Hillsborough College, nice, new, beautiful police station, and a lot of other cool stuff as well. Rays want to build that, but they need some help from the community. And then there's the Buccaneers. And they're like, oh, hey, by the way, we need to renovate Raymond James Stadium. We're not going to get another Super Bowl if we don't renovate Raymond James Stadium. And, our fans, they deserve some shade. So now the Buccaneers, they've got their hand out, and they want about $1 billion or so from the community, which some people have asked, even some people that I think are high on both projects, have said, hey, where's all this money going to come from? And there's some concern among fans that one of these may not be able to happen, and that one could potentially be a new Rays ballpark. And the question we asked, and we're going to ask today, is how is it going to feel? How are you going to look at the Buccaneers organization if they went out with dollars for their renovations, the Rays don't get their ballpark, and we end up seeing the Rays go to Orlando or somewhere else?
I'll be annoyed because, Pat, I'll tell you why. I think they can work off of each other. The stadiums are going to be so close, the Rays proposed stadium and where Raymond James Stadium is right now, that with the mixed-use development, you can make an argument that the Buccaneers are going to benefit from that. So, do I think that Hillsborough County is going to have to put up a lot of money for this? Absolutely. They own the stadium. They own the land. They're going to have to be responsible for a big portion of this, and they know this. Hillsborough County, we've heard from Ken Hagan, they have put the money aside. They already knew about this. Now, do they have all the money that was put aside that the Bucs are asking for from the public? No, not yet. But they're smart enough to be able to figure that out and keep it separate. We've heard it from Ken Hagan that they're separate issues.
So saying that, why would you be annoyed with the Buccaneers?
Because I think that if it came down to it, the Buccaneers right now are proposing to put up essentially a third of this, asking for the public to put up the rest. Much like I'll be upset with the Rays if they can't figure out that last $80 million, that's when I'll be pretty upset with the Rays if they can't go the extra mile to figure that out, even though they've made concessions, a few more just to get past the finish line. For the Buccaneers, if they have to throw in an extra, let's say the Hillsborough County, they're asking for $700 million from Hillsborough County. Let's say Hillsborough County gets to a $600 million or so point. I would like to see the Buccaneers fill the rest of that gap, and I believe Hillsborough County is close enough to that number.
I agree with you, and I think the Buccaneers should fill that gap, and I think the Buccaneers should be, and we don't know that they're not. I think a lot of people are looking at this as, oh, here come the Buccaneers trying to take the Rays' money. And I don't personally look at it that way. And I don't think the Buccaneers look at it that way. I'd be surprised if they do. But a lot of people look at it that way. I think this has been the desire to upgrade Raymond James Stadium has been in the works for a long time.
Has to happen.
Way before the ballpark conversation began. So I don't think it's about the Bucs versus the Rays. And I think if the Bucs are smart, and I'm pretty sure you get to buy Major League franchises, you get to buy NFL franchises, because you're smart, because you made a lot of money being smart, right? I imagine that they understand what that redevelopment across the street could mean for them, not just for the Rays, for them. Like you said, it's going to be right across the street. All new hotels. Wonderful for the Buccaneers. Like, where are you staying right now if you're going to a Bucs game? You're staying, at least a handful of miles away, right? As opposed to maybe now in a beautiful brand new hotel where you can walk over to Raymond James Stadium.
And there's dinner and things, a whole entertainment district, life right there that you don't even have to leave that area. I'm with you, Pat. And we knew when it comes to the Buccaneers and this renovation and now why the timeline is now, it makes total sense. We knew this was coming. We've heard about it. Benchmark International Arena. It's the same thing with the Lightning.
Yep.
And for the Buccaneers, they got to decide by January of 2027 whether to extend their lease of the stadium for another 5 years. So to know that that Hillsborough County is going to make those renovations going into that lease agreement, that's important to them, and I understand that.
I'm shocked that almost everybody in the community, I know there are people that are always going to be clutching their pearls, if you will, or holding on to their pocketbooks, and you can't take any of my money. I know there's always going to be some of those people. Outside of that tiny niche of people, I'm shocked by anybody who doesn't believe that all of this is what's best for this city. And we've talked about it before. You can get both of these things done. And if you do, we're talking about a vastly different world than if you don't. And by the way, when I say if you don't, if you only get one of these done, for instance, if you say, hey, we can get the ballpark done, but that's it, mistake. If you say, hey, we can get Raymond James Stadium renovated, but that's it, mistake. We have an opportunity here to be, if not the preeminent sports market in the country, one of the top handful. When you talk about the ability to host Super Bowls, which is going to go up, by the way, not just with Ray J, but with the development across the street. That will make the Super Bowl and all the things they do around the Super Bowl. Like, dude, you and I have been, right? Think about, like, the whole, what do they call it? The NFL experience or whatever they do. Like, think about, you could have that right across the street.
This is why
from Raymond James Stadium.
This is why when it comes to Tampa City Council and Council Chair Alan Clendenin, I trust what he says. And I wish guys like dinosaurs like Charlie Miranda, instead of
stop insulting dinosaurs,
instead of him sending his friend notes to put into AI to see if the MOU makes sense for them.
It's a wonderful do.
How about you just talk to the guy next to you in Clendenin who
wonderful do.
He understands what the Bucs mean to the city of Tampa, saying how well they've done for Tampa, how Tampa's done really well for the Bucs. It's a partnership, but it's helped out. It's grown the city. It's grown to have huge, massive events. Taylor Swift. I don't know anything about Taylor Swift. You know what I know? The one thing I know about her.
She's married to Travis Kelce.
Are they married yet? I don't know that. But what I do know is she clogged up traffic for days in Tampa just from her performing at Raymond James Stadium. You were smart to stay away, but guess what? Ton of money was generated from that. Ton of excitement, a lot of eyeballs on Tampa Bay. So there's so many things that happen, and with the Rays, it's the same exact thing. And if you can't see that we are in a pivotal moment right now where we could have three major sports franchises as far as upgrades to Raymond James Stadium, putting the sunshade on there, which I think is so important. When you're talking about the renovations, what's going to help us? What's going to help the fans? What's going to help the taxpayers? How about a sunshade for all the events that are going to be there, and then we can
get some misters too.
Yeah, we can.
I want misters.
We can talk to them about that. But then again, I'll make the argument, and as much as I know that the Raymond James Stadium, having that big stadium there, does for the area, I can make the argument in a million different ways that the Rays mixed-use development could be even more important to bringing in money and people.
I think they're equally important. I think it's more important because it doesn't exist yet, right? Raymond James Stadium is there. And we'll figure out how to make it better and get Super Bowls and all that stuff. The ballpark's more important just because it doesn't exist yet. But I heard Ken Hagan saying this with our friend Jay Retcher, and this to me put such a perfect bow on the entire thing when it comes to the Rays ballpark. Right? The deal for Raymond James Stadium, the original deal to build Raymond James Stadium, most people look at that as a bad deal. It was a significantly worse deal for the city, for the community, than the Rays ballpark deal is. But it was a good deal. It was a worse deal, but it's been beneficial.
As far as what
it's been profitable.
As far as what the taxpayers pay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, it's at the end of the day, having Raymond James Stadium has been a plus for the community, not a minus. So you might look at that deal and go, hey, it wasn't as taxpayer friendly, but it still ends up being a good deal for the city because we'd be effed without it. So to me, I don't know how you're on the other side of having nice things.
I wonder what the people think.